Hey everyone, how you doing? It's Craig Campbell from Pastor Craig's Vintage Cards, and this is, I had to look at my notes, part number 34 of my NFL hybrid set build of cards between 1970 and 73. One card for every player that had a card issued. If you had a card in all 4 years, I'm just going to have one of your cards, 1 year, that's it. And if it was your only card, guess what? You're in the set. And this is going to be a fun one here. There's a lot of color on this page for some reason. These two here help quite a bit, but a lot of color, a lot of interesting players here on this one. Let me zoom in. There we go. Get my fingers out of the way and let you guys take a good look at these cards. There we go. All right, yeah, like I said, a lot of good players on this sheet. We're going to start off up here with Marv Hubbard, classic pose. The running pose for a football card, and Marv was a great player. His rookie card was a 1972 Topps, and then he had cards issued between 73 and 76. Marv was drafted in the 1968 draft with pick number 277 by the Raiders out of the powerhouse college of Colgate. Not the toothpaste, but Colgate. Not known as a powerhouse football team for sure. A great school. This is going to sound silly. I don't know if it's an Ivy League school, but if it's not, it's darn near close to it. I think they're like in the Holy Cross division, but just a school. Colgate's much more known for its academics than football. But Marv could not adjust to pro football, and he was cut by the Raiders and by the Broncos before the start of the 68 season. In 69, he joined the Raiders again. And he ends up playing with them from 69 to 76 and the Lions in 1977. Marv was an aggressive, tough runner. Yes, he was, but very quick for his size. His yards per carry are third best in NFL history for fullbacks, behind only Hall of Famers Jim Brown and Joe Perry. Wow, I didn't know that. Yards per carry, third best in the NFL for fullbacks. Marv led the Raiders in rushing from 71 through 74. He was a three-time Pro Bowler, and he led the Raiders to 3 straight AFC Championship games. Boy, the Raiders were tough. Multiple shoulder injuries limited his 1975 season. Then he missed all of 1976, missing playing in Super Bowl 11 for the Raiders. What a bummer. Marv suited up in 103 games, starting 59. He had 5,172 yards from scrimmage with 23 touchdowns. Marv passed away in May of 2015, but I'm telling you right now, I remember Marv Hubbard, and he was a solid football player, a tough-nosed guy. Next up, we got Pat Hughes sitting on the bench. Linebacker for the Giants, his rookie card. He had cards issued from 74 to 76. He was drafted by the Giants in 1970 with the 221st pick in the draft. Pat was also drafted by the New York Mets, but he planned to go to Ohio State, and he was pushed towards West Point. However, he ends up at Boston University. So I got to rewind that just a little bit. So he's in high school. The Mets draft him in the draft. He's like, I'm going to go to Ohio State, play for the Buckeyes. But then he got pushed to go towards West Point, but he ends up going to Boston University. And he played for the Giants for 6 years. The first year he played center. The rest of his career, he was a linebacker. He got traded to the Saints, where he played from 77 to 79, starting every game in 1978 and 1979. Pat played in 141 games, starting 94. He ends up with 15 interceptions and 9 fumble recoveries for his career. Up here we've got Don Holtz, a defensive tackle with the Eagles. This is his last card. His rookie card is a 1968 Topps, and this 73 was the only other card he had. He was undrafted out of college, but signed with the Vikings in 1963. Wow. He was traded to the Eagles, where he played for 9 seasons. Don was traded then to the Bears for the 74 season. He played in 141 games, starting 91. He had 4 interceptions with 12 fumble recoveries and 2 touchdowns. He holds the NFL record. Wow, this is interesting. NFL record for most fumble recoveries in a season with 9 in 1963. Isn't that amazing? Guy played that long in the NFL, and he had 2 cards issued. Down here, this is a cool card. We got Claude Humphrey, Pro Football Hall of Famer 2014. His rookie card's a 1970 card. Then he had cards issued from 70 to 75 and 77 to 1980. He was drafted by the Falcons with the number 3 pick in the 1968 draft. He started every game his rookie year and was named NFL Defensive Rookie of the Year. He was a 5-time All-Pro. He was a Pro Bowl selection 6 times. He temporarily retired in 1978 and then got traded to the Eagles in 1979. He played with them until 1981. In 1980 with the Eagles, Claude was a designated pass rusher. He led the Eagles to Super Bowl 15, but they lost to the Raiders. Claude missed out on the Hall of Fame selection many, many times before making it in 2014 in the senior election, and luckily for Claude, he was alive to see that. So many guys get put in after they passed away, but Claude passed away in December of 2021, made the Hall of Fame in 2014. He was a very, very solid player. I remember Claude Humphrey. Next up, we got Jim Hunt. Jim Hunt, boy, does he ever look like a big guy. Just, I mean, the close-up of the picture, and he just takes up the whole background. Jim Hunt, his rookie card's a 1967, and this 1970 is his only other card. He was drafted in 1960 by the Patriots with the 181st pick. He played with the Patriots from 60 to 70. He was a 4-time AFL All-Star. Jim holds the record for most fumble recoveries in AFL history. Wow, what is it? He led the league, set the record for most fumble recoveries in a season, and he led the AFL for most fumble recoveries in history. He suited up in 146 games, started 96, and he started all but 2 games his last 5 seasons. He had 1 interception for a touchdown and 8 fumble recoveries with 1 touchdown. Jim's number 79 was retired by the Patriots, and this is just so sad. Jim Hunt here passed away in November of 1975 of a heart attack at the age of only 37 years of age. Wow. He's been gone for 51 years and died of a heart attack at the age of 37. He's about the same age as my dad. My dad is still alive. I couldn't imagine. My dad passed away in 1975. Stories like that just make me sad. Here we've got Scott Hunter. He was my Green Bay Packers quarterback when I was a kid. When I first remember Green Bay, 1972 was the first year I really remember the Packers clearly. And Scott's rookie card is a 1972 Topps. Then he had cards issued 73 to 74. And 77 to 78. He was drafted out of Alabama by the Packers with the 140th pick. And I remember everybody was so happy out of Alabama because that's where the great Bart Starr played. But Scott was not going to be a Bart Starr. He played for the Packers from 71 to 74, then the Bills in 74, the Falcons in 76 through 78, and the Lions in 1979. Scott Hunter played for the injured Bart Starr in 1971, starting 10 games. He led the Packers in 1972 to the playoffs. That was the first year I remember the Pack is back, we were thinking, but no. They went on to have a really dismal rest of the 1970s. He was caught in a quarterback competition in 1973, and then he got traded to the Bills in 74 and was a backup. He was out of football in 75 and signed with the Falcons in 1976. He started 7 games in 1977. But he saw no playing time. In 1978, he signed with the Lions, where he saw little playing time, was primarily as a backup. Scott suited up in 62 NFL games, starting 42. He had 4,756 yards passing in his career, with 23 touchdowns and 38 interceptions. Not a good ratio at all. His best year was 1972. This is a 73 card, but obviously that picture is probably from the 72 season. And that was the year that I remember Scott Hunter. One of my favorite cards, though. And then we got down here a couple of beautiful 1971 cards. Oh, man, I love those 71s. These are just such great cards. Ken Iman, center with the Rams. It's his rookie card. He had cards issued in 73 to 75. Ken was undrafted in 1960, and he signed with the Packers, where he was primarily backup to Hall of Fame center Jim Ringo. He played guard in a pinch and linebacker when injuries really hit the team in 61 and 62. Ken was traded to the Rams before the beginning of the 64 season. He broke his ankle and he missed the entire season, but returned in 65, starting 140 straight games between 65 and 74. Ken played alongside Hall of Famer Tom Mack, and Ken was actually the presenter of Tom Mack at his Hall of Fame induction. He was a two-time NFL champion, yes, with the Green Bay Packers in 61 and 62. He was named the Rams MVP in 1972, and that's pretty tough to do when you think about it, to be a team MVP as a center. And the Rams were pretty good back then. Ken went on to be an offensive line coach with the Eagles, and then he took a sales account executive position with the Eagles. He died in November of 2010. But yeah, Ken Iman. Such a cool card, too, with that pose sitting over the ball. We got the great Harold Jackson. His rookie cards in 1970 tops. He had cards issued from 71 to 82. Harold was drafted in the 12th round by the Rams in 1968. He appeared in 2 games his rookie season and got traded to the Eagles in 69. Harold quickly emerged as one of the top receivers in the NFL, leading the league in several categories. Prior to the 73 season, Harold was traded back to the Rams, where he played from 73 to 77. He got traded to the Patriots, and he played there from 78 to 81. And he played with the Vikings in 82 and the Seahawks in 83. I don't remember that. Harold finished with 579 receptions. Wow. Over 10,000 yards and 76 touchdowns. Harold was a 5-time Pro Bowler, a first-team All-Pro 1 time, and second-team All-Pro 2 times. He was a position coach in the NFL and college for many years after his retirement. Harold Jackson, he was trouble. Great receiver. I remember him primarily with the Rams. And then we've got, the last card here is Randy Jackson. Randy Jackson, a tackle with the Chicago Bears. It's his rookie card. He cards issued in 74 and 75. He was drafted in 1966 in the 4th round with the 51st pick out of Florida. He played with the Bears from 67 to 74. He suited up in 105 games, starting 94 games. So he was a pretty regular player. He finished with 4 fumble recoveries for his career. All right, this has been a fun page for me. A fun page. I mean, you've got the great Marv Hubbard. You know, Pat Hughes was going to go to the Buckeyes, and then he ends up going to West Point, and he's going to end up to Boston College. You got the guy who holds the record for most fumble recoveries, Claude Humphrey, Hall of Famer. This fellow passed away at such a young age. Scott Hunter, Ken Iman, Harold Jackson. What a loaded page this is of good stories. But I hope you've enjoyed this, guys. I just love doing these videos, and I love talking about these players, and I think some of you really enjoy it too. I appreciate all of your comments, any of your suggestions. This is so much fun. Chance to go back and look at some old cards and talk about guys that we've long forgotten about. Anyways, if you liked it, like, subscribe, leave me a comment. We will talk soon. Take care, everyone.